Hi guys, welcome back to Q4FY25 results, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the AC companies. We are going to be talking about the AC companies not on the B2B side specifically, that which is like PGL, Virtuous Optoelectronics, but more on the B2C front and also a combination of both, right? We are going to be talking about Voltas, Symphony and Bluestar. ठीक है, ये तीनों AC कंपनियां हैं, ठीक है. So over here, see, I think this is also a good example. I'll continue in the video, why whenever it doesn't matter where you're invested, you have to read each and everything that is there in the market. Okay. Coming back first, before I jump into the Q4 FY25 result, this video might be in a hurry actually because I have to attend a con call at 4 and it is 3:30 right now. But just bear with me. I'm going to try and wrap it up as fast as possible. But yeah. When you talk about this entire year, when you talk about the AC industry, it has been very fantastic because this was one such industry where there was a lot of tailwind. Okay. Usually, if you see the AC industry, on an average, if you see, they've grown by 20% kind of CAGR. Okay. But this time, if you see, it's been way more than that. Why? Because in this year, that is 24-25, the financial year 24-25, we've seen the demand unlike ever before because of the El Nino effect, right? We had very terrible summers, very harsh summers, and not just harsh summers in the summer months, but the summers got extended in the months of June and July. We also saw the monsoon that was there. Monsoon was delayed, right? All of this added into the factor. Now, यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? Nobody anticipated the summer to be so strong. Nobody knew कि El Nino का इतना बड़ा effect होगा, heat wave होगा, and all of that, right? As a result, क्या हुआ था? The AC companies thought, ठीक है, 20% CAGR say will grow as anyways, right? So the demand they anticipated seemed to be as last year का demand, that is 23-24, ठीक है? So that is how it was. But the demand was way more, but the supply was less. Listen to this properly. Demand was more, supply was less, ठीक है? So as a result, क्या हुआ? हर एक inventory, हर एक channels पे, everything was sold out. All the ACs were sold out, right? So when the demand is more and the supply is less, क्या होगा आपका? आपका price increase होगा, price hike होगा, right? Which we saw, ठीक है? So as a result, 24-25 was a great year. We saw huge demand, price increase था, volume growth था, everything, went hunky-dory for these kind of companies. So when you look at the Q4 FY25 result, it is just an amalgamation of this demand, ठीक है? Because the main demand for the ACs happens in April, May, June, which is your Q1 months, ठीक है? And that sets the pace for the upcoming year or the new financial year. Last time का April, May, March, April, May, June, all of these 4 months was fantastic, okay? So that demand carried on forward until this Q4 also. In fact, what happened in this Q4 was, see, last Q4, when first of all the summer was early in the March itself, right? And like I told you, people were not prepared. The channels were not prepared to handle that kind of summer, right? So to be honest, I'll just give you my own experience, okay? I stay in Bangalore and I've been here for the last 20 years, right? I've never had an AC in my house, because we don't need AC in Bangalore, okay? It's cool. It's not that terrible. We don't have, yeah, summer is horrible relatively to winter, but it's not that bad, where you can't sleep or anything, It's not like in Calcutta or Bombay or Delhi, the summer is so terrible, right? It's not. It's pleasant over here. But for the first time in my life, in the last 20 years, I told my mom, I was like, bro, we need an AC. I just can't deal with this. We just need it, okay? And then by the time, I think this was in April. It was in April, in that 20th, 25th of that time. And I was like, dude, I need AC. We just can't do without AC here. And I go to Amazon and I check, delivery time is 2 weeks. We have Prime, which is 48 hours delivery. And it would take another probably 3-4 days, for that man to come and install it, everything, right? Bhai, us time tak main to jal ke raak ho jaungi, theek hai? The other thing is, if I go, I've literally probably gone to every single store, whether it is Chroma, Hush, Pi, Electronics, whatever it is I've gone, there is no AC, theek hai? There is absolutely no AC because everywhere it is sold out and the wait time is for 2 weeks, okay? And the worst part over here is they don't have this high tonnage AC, and I need more than 2 tons in my room because my room is bigger, right? No AC at all, absolutely no AC. The situation was so bad, I literally had to go to the warehouse, and my mom's got she works, right? So she knows all this warehouse and everything. So, and even they were like, dude, we don't have ACs, to give to our, distribution channels. How can we do that? Again, I had to resort, how I got my AC. I literally, thank God, my uncle in Mangalore, he had a spare AC. He was not using it. I had to literally get it transported from Mangalore to Bangalore and get it installed in my house. That was the only way I would have an AC in my house. So that's how bad it was. And I'm pretty sure, most of you would have experienced this, right? Either There was no AC in all of the channels. Or the second thing is, even for a 1-ton AC, you were paying like 60-70K. Like, that's how bad it was, especially in the month of May. It got that bad, because again, demand is more, supply is less. Now what happened was, all these AC ka, all these distribution channels that are there, they expected that, this summer of this year to also be as harsh as the summer of last year. That is 25-26 ka, this year ka summer, that is year 25 ka summer would be as harsh as year 24. Okay. But unfortunately, again, I won't give the spoiler right now, but so what has happened over here is, because of that, they started stocking up, because they didn't want to have that same supply chain ka issue that was there last year. Now, kisko chahiye wo? So they started stocking up. Because they started stocking up early, like literally every single channels, you will also see, right, Blinkit started also, like delivering ACs right now, because they also knew कि like last year AC ka demand itna high tha, probably even we will have. So that is what happened. And as a result, because they thought that this summer, right, that is in year 25, the summer is going to be so harsh, they started stocking up. Iske wajah se you will see Q4 ka numbers are really good. Okay? Q4 ka numbers are going to be bomb across the platforms for all the companies, whether it is B2C or B2B. Okay? So now you understand why Q4 ka demand is so good, so great. What was the reason for it? Now, if you look at all of these companies, whether it is Bluestar, whether it is Voltas, whether it is Symphony, they are a result of that only. Because if you look at Bluestar, sales grew by 22%, and if you look at Voltas, if you look at on a year on year, that is 24 versus 25, Voltas ka sales also grew by 23. If you look at Symphony ka sales grew by 32%. Okay, so all great, all well. Okay, even most of the companies have had a really spectacular amount of operating leverage. Also, there is no complaint even in that matter. Okay, margins also has improved for some. Great. Okay, so this is the Q4 ka numbers. Q4 ka numbers are great. But you know why now Q4 ka numbers were great? They anticipated a summer, because of which sabne order laga ke, they had placed an order, with every single person. As a result, because of a strong order book, they have done that. Now here is the thing. Okay, like I told you, for this entire AC ka thing, the best part or the best quarters or the best months of the year for these AC companies are April, May and June. They set the momentum, they set the business direction of what it would be like for the entire FY26. Okay, agar April, May, June kharab hota hai, then the entire year will be bad for them. Okay, because almost 35 to 40% of the sales happen in this April, May, June ka month, because summer season na, obviously AC ka demand har jagah hota hai. Okay. Now what has happened, if you look at them, if you look at every single body, okay, I'll give you the thing, I'll give you the keywords over here. Havel, summer is delayed. Symphony, summer is erratic. Bluestar, Bluestar ka con call is really great. If you just listen to con call live for the first 10 minutes, listen to the main guy talk over there, and he tells ki like, do not expect the summer to be as harsh it was like last year, because last year April, May, Bluestar grew 75% in terms of RAC. They were like, bhai, if I grow even 20 to 25% this time, it's going to be better, because this time, one, summer is delayed, summer is not as hot as last year. Second, monsoon, we've had monsoons, in between summers. Agar monsoons aate hai, obviously temperature thoda cool down hota hai, and we won't have that great of a summer. All of these three companies have a very common narrative ki like summer is delayed, monsoon aa chuka hai, so probably the summer that we're seeing right now in this year will not be as harsh as the summer last year. Okay, and what happened last year was an exception. Okay, and as usual, whatever the AC ka industry ka growth rate was at 20 to 25, that is how much we're supposed to grow. Agar aap Bluestar ka specifically agar aap Voltas ka dekhte ho, the same thing they mentioned. Bluestar gave a little more detailed explanation ki like about all these things ki like Maharashtra mein itna rain hua hai, only in Kerala, Andhra Pradesh the summer has been really good. If you look at other parts of north of India also, the summer is quite delayed, right? And do not expect them to be growing at that rate. If they are like hopeful. Let me tell you something. Last time they told we are anticipating, it's a very strong demand, very confident and XYZ. Now the management commentary has changed into like, we are hopeful that the summer is going to be strong. Hopefully May and June will be harsh, or a better summer, so AC ka sale will be higher. So now what you see is Q4 has been great. Like I told you, what is the reason? But Q1, if the summer, let's say in the May and the June, the months of June, the summer is not catching up and the summer is not strong, in Sabka, whether it is Voltas, Bluestar, Symphony, PGL, Virtuous Optoelectronics, EPAC, Amber, सबका पेस ऑफ ग्रोथ घटने वाला है. इट इज गोइंग टू बी अ रिवर्स मोमेंटम, अ रिवर्स ऑफ द साइकिल. पहला साइकिल में 24 into 25 ईयर 24-25 में क्या हुआ था? सप्लाई डिमांड वाज मोर, सप्लाई वाज लेस, प्राइस इंक्रीज्ड, राइट? एज अ रिजल्ट वॉल्यूम ग्रोथ आया, वैल्यू ग्रोथ आया, डिमांड हुआ. यहाँ पे इन दिस ईयर द समर इज नॉट दैट स्ट्रॉन्ग. पेस ऑफ ग्रोथ इज गोइंग टू कम डाउन. हाउ विल इट कम डाउन? सी फर्स्ट अटैक होते हैं कहाँ पे? सेल्स ग्रोथ पे. आपके इन्वेंटरी सब कुछ दैट इज लेटर. First attack always sales growth. That is why we kept explaining in the workshop, right? Why sales growth is the king. It's not just to look at sales growth as an absolute number. You'll have to look at the pace of sales growth also, okay? And if you don't get the workshop, get it right now. It's the best thing because then you won't have to worry about all this thing, okay? Link is in the description. But here, how will the sales growth be affected? Like I told you, क्या हुआ है यहाँ पे? They've stocked up. Every single body has stocked up all kinds of inventory यहाँ पे, ठीक है? Every channel. If the summer is not strong as last year, क्या होगा? यहाँ पे आपका सप्लाई ज्यादा है, समर इज नॉट स्ट्रॉन्ग, डिमांड कम है. सप्लाई इज मोर, डिमांड कम है, देन व्हाट विल हैपन टू द प्राइस? प्राइस विल ड्रॉप. एंड ऑब्वियसली नाउ वी हैव टू गेट रिड ऑफ ऑल दिस इन्वेंटरीज दैट यू हैव स्टॉक्ड अप. चैनल का डिस्टॉकिंग हो जाएगा यहाँ पे, ठीक है? दैट इज अनदर थिंग दैट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. सो जो हमने साइकिल का ऊपर यहाँ पे देखा, if May and June में the summer is not catching up, because in April the summer is not that great, ठीक है? Because March for all these AC companies was a muted quarter, because last time summer started in March. इस बार summer didn't even start in March, ठीक है? Second thing, April was flat. April was literally fucking flat, ठीक है? Sorry, but April was flat. Last time April mein I think all these companies grew by 70-75%, in terms of month on month. If you see, like last April versus this April, if you see, that's how the growth was, because of the higher demand. This time hardly anything, ठीक है? So if this momentum in ACs, the demand in ACs that is there, doesn't catch up in May and June because of erratic summers, or if the summers are not that strong, then this entire thing will happen where the supply is more, demand is less. You will have to give discounting, you will have to get rid of all the channel inventory. Ultimately कहाँ पे affect होगा? यहाँ पे sales growth. Same thing. Now think about this, okay? लास्ट टाइम भी अगर आप देखते हो बैलेंस शीट ऑफ ऑल दीज कंपनीज, आप इनका कैश फ्लोज देखते हो, वेदर इट इज वोल्टा, सिम्फनी, पीजीएल, ईपैक ना, सबके इन्वेंटरीज इज वेरी हाई, वेरी वेरी हाई, ठीक है? इन्वेंटरीज इतना हाई है कि कैश फ्लोज नेगेटिव हो चुका है, ठीक है? नाउ इन्वेंटरीज इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. व्हेन द इन्वेंटरीज इज नॉट गेटिंग कन्वर्टेड इनटू सेल, दैट इज अ प्रॉब्लम, ठीक है? लास्ट टाइम भी इन्वेंटरीज हाई था, बट ऑल ऑफ दिस बिकॉज ऑफ अ रियली गुड डिमांड इट गॉट कन्वर्टेड टू सेल. सो इसलिए क्या हुआ? पेस ऑफ ग्रोथ बढ़ा बढ़ा बढ़ा, राइट? पीजीएल केम 30 से 40, 40 से 50, 50 से 80% का गाइडेंस देते रहा. द पेस ऑफ ग्रोथ इंक्रीज्ड. दिस टाइम आल्सो इन्वेंटरी इज हाई, ठीक है? इन्वेंटरी बीइंग हाई इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. व्हेन दैट इन्वेंटरी डजंट गेट कन्वर्टेड इनटू सेल, दैट इज अ प्रॉब्लम. पीजीएल का अगर आप देखते हो Q4 का सेल्स, आई थिंक आई जस्ट चेक्ड विद द नंबर, Q4 का सेल्स इज 80%, पैट ग्रो 116%, ग्रेट. वोल्टास आल्सो ग्रेट, ब्लूस्टार ग्रेट, सिम्फनी ग्रेट, एवरीथिंग वेल एंड गुड, ठीक है? बट they all have inventories. Now when this inventories is not getting sold, who will be hit first? If you're not getting sold, आपके इन्वेंटरीज वहीं पे रहेगा, सेल्स ग्रोथ कम हो जाएगा. क्या होगा? पेस ऑफ ग्रोथ विल कम डाउन. लास्ट साल पेस ऑफ ग्रोथ ऊपर ऊपर ऊपर, इस साल शायद पेस ऑफ ग्रोथ नीचे नीचे नीचे. नाउ डू यू अंडरस्टैंड कि इन्वेंटरीज को मत देखो. व्हाई आई टेल यू कि बिकॉज टू अंडरस्टैंड इन्वेंटरीज यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द बिजनेस मॉडल. बट द वन थिंग यू कैन ट्रैक टू अंडरस्टैंड कि कुछ भी गलत हो जाए, रिसीवेबल्स गलत हो जाए, पेएबल गलत हो जाए, वेयर डज इट गेट्स पॉइंटेड आउट फर्स्ट? सेल्स ग्रोथ, ठीक है? So that is a thing. So a lot of people that I see, they are very happy about the result of Voltas, of Bluestar, of Symphony, right? Which is great. Q4 का number is great. But you have to look at a market. Market is a forward-looking engine, ठीक है? पीछे का नहीं देखता है. Q4 हो गया, ठीक है, हो गया, अच्छा है. But you make money when आगे का चीजें भी अच्छा होते हैं, when the demand is greater. And when you look at all of these companies, right? All of the three companies, the demand doesn't seems to be as great as. Now you can tell me oh yeah, Prerna, last time was summer was erratic. It's like once in a thing. Market doesn't care. Market देखता है एक चीज. Last time how much did you grow? This time how much did you grow? It's all about relative performance, ठीक है? And if you're not growing, pace of growth कम होता है, guidance कम होता है, you're fucked. I'm sorry, but that is the reality, right? I'm sorry for cussing, but I'm actually a bit stressed because I have to, like I told you, I have to attend the con call at 4. So I have to wrap up this video also at fast, and then I have to head to the gym at 5. So I have a really tight schedule today going on over here. ठीक है? So that is the thing. Along with this RAC, this room AC, split AC का जो है, Q4 has been great. But like I told you, the summer is delayed. Everybody का एक ही चीज है कि they are hoping and they are praying कि May and June will be very harsh, so they can clock up some sort of sales at least over here. Other than that, if you see, there is another thing. If you look at the entire, whether this is Symphony, Bluestars and Voltas, there are two divisions. One is the ACs, the other is the refrigeration, and the refrigeration division, that is आपका fridge बेचने वाला, has also not really performed well. That is the worst performing section. सब में वहाँ पे channel का inventory का destocking हो रहा है, liquidation हो रहा है in terms of inventory, because one is when does this how does refrigeration का sales ज़्यादा होता है? One in terms of residentials which has been okayish, the other is in the B2B side. B2B side में कौन ज़्यादा refrigeration use करते हैं? आपका dairy का और dairy companies, आपका FMCG companies, आपका ice cream companies, and you might have seen, right, FMCG QSR companies यहाँ पे demand उतना अच्छा नहीं है. You look at the numbers, so as a result वहाँ पे थोड़ा slowdown हो चुका है. If your industry is only not performing in the client के industries, आप कैसे perform करोगे? That is one thing. And the other thing is वो है कि like थोड़ा सा pickup हुआ है because of dairy sales and आपका dairy का numbers and आपका ice cream का sales, which is a bit of a seasonal factor, because अगर आप अप्रैल में, जून या मार्च में रहते हो, समर सीजन का स्टार्ट होता है, लोग ज्यादा आइसक्रीम खाते हैं, but that is that. ठीक है. So overall Q4 has been great, but the anticipation what they were expecting for Q1 doesn't seem to be like that. आप किसी भी कॉन कॉल को लेके पकड़ो, whether it is Havels, whether it is Symphony and everything, it is the same story कि like summer is delayed, monsoon आ चुका है, probably if May and June में summer, see last time they were so confident कि like we are going to be posting such good result and everything, all of these things, and this time when you see they are hoping and they're praying कि like May and June, if it is well, if the summer is good and May and June, we will make, we will have a good sales growth. So that is the thing. So be very careful about this cycle. Be careful about whenever you're investing in any companies. मैं बार-बार ये चीज बोल रही हूँ, Q4 में जब आप invest कर रहे हो, please catch up with the con call. Make sure the management commentary is right, and the direction of the business is right for the FY26, and then go ahead and do, because the year is ending. So whatever the most of the companies, whatever they've promised, they will be executing this time. But what is more important is आगे जाके आगे का direction is important. अगर आप simple, so that is a amalgamation of basically what happened in the Voltas का con call and Bluestar का con call. The other thing over here in Symphony का चीज है कि like they are more into that international business. उनका एक international business in Australia, वो लोग उसको divestment कर रहे हैं, and the other one is उनका Mexico का एक business है, that also they're trying to get rid of, because Australia का business has been a lot of loss making for them. ठीक है. Since the time of COVID, it's been just an unfortunate series of luck. It's just didn't work out really well for them. They've been investing a lot of money, but the return on the capital employed has not been that great. So उनका वो the more focus is on that part of the business, getting rid of that divestment and doing all of that, and less on this, and even they can probably sustain that 20 to 25% का growth going forward. ठीक है. So that's that. अभी PGL का con call है 4 बजे. The result has been great, to be honest. As I told you, Q4 is meant to be great for all these companies because of how they were expecting the demand to be and how everybody stocked up. What is more important is how the tone is for FY26, because guidance is great. You can check the PPT. Guidance is okay. Pace of growth काम हो चुका है. What is more important is the con call. Let me catch up with the con call, and once I'm catching up with the con call of PGL, I'll make a video. I'll make a video either tonight or tomorrow morning. It depends once I'm back from the gym how I feel. If my energy is great, I'll make a video tonight itself. वरना कल बनाऊंगी. ठीक है. So that is the thing. Again, मैं एक और बार बोल रही हूँ, whatever companies you invest, whether it is you want to increase the allocation in the existing holdings, or if you want to it's a watch list company आपको invest करना है, catch up with the con call. Kindly catch up with the con call. Live सुनो, recording सुनो, transcript पढ़ लो. Do that and then invest, because a lot of the times Q4 will be great, but आगे जाके guidance कम हो सकता है, या demand अच्छा नहीं है, they're telling not that great or whatsoever, that can ruin. Then it market doesn't care कि like Q4 कितना अच्छा हुआ, market आगे का देखता है, and when you're getting a signal कि like आगे जाके बुरा करने वाला है, that is a big negative factor. ठीक है. So please kindly read the con call before doing anything. ठीक है. That's that video for today. Have a nice day. Bye.